Pull it in just a hair. We're getting it together.
Yeah, get it together. That's fine.
Get it together. Oh no, I'm stuck. Oh, unstuck.
Got it?
No.
Is it stuck on something?
Yeah,
Oh.
stuck on something.
Okay.
That's all right.
Maybe it's good now.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me do this. Um, putting this in here so people. Well, I can't see. I can't see. So I'm going to be watching TikTok while you watch YouTube.
Hi, Andy.
Hi.
Hi, Mama T.
Hello.
Hello, Terry. Hello, Beverly.
Oh, there. Can we keep that in there? Hang on.
Hi from Florida. Hello, Florida.
Let me check on TikTok. Hey, TikTok. Here we go. We can extend
Oh,
it
hello,
again.
TikTok.
Lots of TikTok. So we're here to just have a discussion, answer some questions. I'm going to do Cash App card pulls. So I've got to pull this up. It's driving me nuts. But
You guys
there's
all must be missing her on Monday. So you haven't seen her. How many Mondays has it been?
2, I think.
2 Mondays. You can be back this Monday.
Probably.
Busy.
Probably. We'll see.
Let me see if I can catch up here.
It depends.
Sherry, can you still marry me in twin?
Oh, dear. Look, a bird, probably. Anyway, that's not.
I don't know what
Well,
Siri just said, but
She said, well, let's not. That's what she
oh, did she? Who was that?
said. Yeah, that was on Mama T.
Can I still marry you? I mean, yeah,
Oh, that's awesome.
we can still marry
Hello
people.
from West Virginia. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Ginger.
But I think I know what
I
you
got
mean.
pronounced
Mama
that
T.
correctly, hopefully. Yeah, we're just chilling. We're on date night, so we thought, let's go out here and say hi.
Let's go live.
Yeah.
And then I took a really warm bath, and it felt great.
Ginger. Hi,
It
Ginger.
felt really good, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was awesome.
I need to take one at some point.
A bath?
Yeah, I've never been in that bath.
Really?
Remember, I always take showers.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's an awesome bath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're in both places. This is kind of different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm doing Cash App card pull. So any donation, whatever, it could whatever you want. And I'll pull your card.
I got a
Let's get
new
it
hot tub and it's great. Oh, Terry, we're coming to
Oh,
your house.
man.
We need to come to your house.
Yeah, my bathtub has the jacuzzi jets in it, and I love it.
How's it been since we've been in a hot tub? It's been a few years.
I'm really not supposed to be in one
I know.
unless the temperature's low.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I love them.
Mm.
I love the heat. I love them. But it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Mama T, well, I do, and if he does too, you can pronounce it. No.
Well, right. We are legally allowed to do that. We are legal. Ministers. I'm going to go.
Ordained.
No, I can't. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm not going to hit this. I'm not going to smoke this because I'm going to tell you why. First, number one, I'm in my own home. So I should be able to do what I'm allowed to do medically. But it seems like screw it. Last time I got like a bunch of shit from people in the comments about why do you have to do that on video?
Right.
Well, number one, it's my video. Right? And then number two, I guess if it offends you, you don't have to watch.
They haven't been in the pain you've been in.
You know what I mean? And number
I don't know
two,
what to say.
if I'm in pain of some and some sort of uncomfortableness, if I would like to make that pain go away without popping a pill, I should be allowed.
Well, you can't sit still very long without having
Really
some kind
can't.
of pain.
I really can't.
Your legs either start jumping or something. So
I really
just
can't.
relax. I'm not doing any of that. So I got
You're
this.
fine. No,
We're
I'm
good.
fine.
We're good.
I'll be great.
Yeah. Yeah, that is crazy. Yes. The pain. Do you believe that you have to walk through your own pain to connect to me? It's a good
What?
question, isn't it?
What's the question?
Did you have to walk through your own pain to connect to me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the hidden gem
Yes.
you're all looking for.
I had to think about that. But
Right,
yes.
because if you think about it, everybody's like trying to get rid of their pain to have the connection, not
Yeah.
realizing you got to go through the pain to have the connection.
Right.
And that's a really you just don't realize how beautiful the experience is if you do it that way.
Probably have to go off of TikTok.
It probably makes a lot more sense to do it that way, but I guess it depends on who you are. I don't think we can get a license in do you with the Lord's lettuce PP on anybody that wants to rain in your Grateful Dead party. Yeah.
I'm not worried about them.
Yeah.
I don't know who it was. I don't remember,
Yeah.
but it was
That's okay. You've had a little bit of pain.
gave me a hard time.
We
I've had a lot of pain today. I'm telling you what.
but
It's
you know what? I
neuropathy.
believe that's helped your immune system more than it's hurt it.
Yeah.
That's just me. Alice, I used to believe I needed to stop smoking weed for me to be with my twin. I don't believe that. No, actually,
Here's
it's
the
not
deal.
about. It's not about the alcohol, the
Yeah.
marijuana, the stuff they put in their system
Right.
that affects the connection. It's your reaction to it.
Right.
Your
Yeah.
reaction. The reaction.
Or your
to
judgment
it.
of it.
Ugh, that word. That word.
You know,
Yeah, just-
honestly.
If you don't judge yourself, how would you know
Right.
if anybody's judging you?
And I'm medically legal and in my own home doing what I'm allowed to be doing. So I don't really care if you want to make a comment about me smoking on video.
It's not like you do it all the time.
Karen.
Hi.
Did I say Karen?
Hi, Tyler. How's it going?
I don't mean it if there's
Tyler.
a Karen in here. Really, I don't. Like a real Karen. Not like a person named Karen, not like a Karen.
Yeah,
Don't take it
there's
personal.
those. Vulnerability.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. As soon as Tyler showed up, that's what hit me. The vulnerability that comes from the pain. That's important for the connection.
Let me tell you, the pain is what stops the vulnerability.
The vulnerability is inside them.
Right. But the pain is what keeps you from being vulnerable some of the time.
Oh.
And I'm
Yes,
gonna
that's
and
a
I'm gonna go in a
permission grant.
physical way because honestly, like when I'm in physical pain,
Mhm.
right? And I don't do any pharmaceuticals. So if I'm in physical pain and I'm not able to take away that, I get irritable
Yeah.
and bitchy.
Mhm.
And just like everybody else when they get a headache or when they don't feel good, right? They're not in the best moods ever.
Yep.
Right. I'm not going to be vulnerable to you and tell you that. Well, I mean, most people wouldn't be vulnerable and say, I just feel bad. I'm not a bitchy. I just feel horrible.
Mhm.
Do I do that? Do I ever say I'm just feel bad? Or do I just bitch out?
It depends on your pain level. When you're past an 8, yeah, you tend to break down like that. But if you're not near an 8, you won't. That's usually how I gauge it.
Got it.
Yep.
Got it.
But at the same time, I try to absorb it if I know you are.
Got it.
So I don't know if you necessarily see that's the beauty of this connection. It's not about anything isolated. It's about everything that's not about isolation at all.
Mhm.
Because if you think about, if you let yourself feel, what would you be like if you accepted your pain
Yeah.
and let others accept your pain?
Right.
Wouldn't you heal faster?
Much. Yeah.
But what ends up happening is we want to tell instead of share.
Explain that.
You want to tell somebody about your pain, but you don't want to share your pain. One of those is going to heal you.
Right.
Telling somebody about your pain, when has that ever healed anybody?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you're telling
Yeah.
a story, but you're keeping, as an empath, when you keep your pain back,
Yeah.
you can't feel the room completely.
Right.
So it's like, until you actually learn to sit in your pain, then you can feel everything. You feel more deeply into this connection, then you don't have that obsession and that drive, that growl,
Right.
because you believe the other person's supposed to fix that in you.
True.
or heal that in you, or you can heal it together.
Right.
And that's not how pain works. Your pain is the same birth module you were born with, and it will be with you for the rest of your life. And when do you fall in love with it? It's as simple as that.
It's hard to get people to understand that sometimes.
Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on notifications. I think we do that. I don't think if you look back at our videos, we never did that.
What?
The whole like, subscribe, and turn on notifications.
Oh my God. Let's talk about that for a minute.
Why?
So let me tell you what we're doing.
Oh.
A lot of you know,
Mhm.
but it started already. Lee and I are going back with some members,
Mm.
and we are watching our journey. We started on episode 1 last week.
We ended last
We
episode. We
ended
started
episode
it.
1.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
started
and
episode
ended.
1 the Saturday before. It's the third Saturday of every month.
So
And
we
fourth
are on screen with others, watching our video on screen. And we did episode 1. First of all, I had a lot of hair. Lee had hair. My hair was black. And I noticed in the video, first off, of course, I, did my self-judgment thing first off, like, what was I, whatever. More of that's coming. But I noticed that I was hiding.
Mm.
I was hiding, behind my hair. It was
Mhm.
all up in my face.
Yep.
Either that or I was trying to make my face look smaller. Who knows? But I was definitely hiding.
Oh.
Yeah, I was.
What did you feel you were hiding?
I don't know. And maybe we'll figure it out as we go.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that because I haven't dwelled on it too much. I didn't dwell on it, right? Because I know that it'll be revealed to me as it goes on,
Mm.
right? So I was watching, and we were talking about the blue orbs, right? And it meant different things to me now than it did before.
Man, absolutely.
We forgot to call our grandkids.
We will. We still got time. And I think I just got a message from my son.
Yeah, we did. We forgot to call the grandkids. What's happening? Oh, that's messed up. His son just sent him a really bad meme that I would never. It's funny, but I would never.
Wow.
You raised him.
Yes, I did.
You raised him.
Wow.
It was bad. Who's this? Kathleen.
Okay. Oh, hey, you two. Hope you've been. Oh, thank you, Catherine. We appreciate that. We're doing okay. Let's catch up. Let's see. Teresa said, "Why do you keep talking about it? Smoking marijuana is legal, so who cares what others think?" True.
Thank you.
Ginger, do you both believe that ego death is necessary for the twins to understand each other? No.
No.
We believe that your ego has to be something you fall in love with first, because you don't change something you don't fall in love with. You keep the very thing you're against, you keep the same.
Right.
So you have to look at it like if it's tug of war. If you were to just let go of the rope, the other side would win. That's kind of what you want to do with your ego. All thoughts aren't your feelings. Is it, it's that your feelings happen in here. And you don't even realize how much you tell on yourself when you're in your head. When you're in your head, your body's going to have reactions to things that you don't agree with or agree with. And you got to pay attention to that more than you pay attention to your thoughts. If you start paying attention to your reactions to your thoughts, you kind of start looking at it like you're looking at a kid or an infant or a toddler. And then you realize that you shouldn't take it so seriously because it's talking in a space where it doesn't feel anything, yet you're the one that's going to feel everything. And I'm saying that on purpose. You are the one that feels everything. Your thoughts don't feel anything. So if you sit in your head about somebody you love, if you sit in your head about a problem you're going through, usually if you sit back and see what it's doing to your body, you'll see what's causing it to keep coming towards you or not come towards you. And it's really hard to see until you actually go and sit in your pain. And that's not an easy thing to do. I mean, I say it is easy, but I look at how long it took us to figure that out.
Yeah.
And this connection is hard to navigate because that pain is still constantly trying to get you to choose it. Because here's how you can look at it. Let's say that you have this big ball of energy that's nothing but pain. And then you have this connection. Well, you think the connection is standing next to you, not realizing it's on the other side of your pain. You can't go around your pain to get to that person. You have to go through your pain to get to that person. So it's like what ends up happening is when you want that person and you keep pushing away your pain, you keep wondering why they're leaving you. It's because you're doing to your pain what they're doing to you.
Mhm.
You just can't see that
Right.
because everybody's got this false information about what the mirror effect is. And that's it. That is it all by itself. There's no way around it. There's no way to change it. It's you want them to stand next to you and they want to love you, but you don't love your pain. So what ends up happening is they give you exactly what you're giving your pain and you don't see it. It's almost impossible to see it because you think if I can just get rid of this, I could be with them. Or if I could just get rid of this, then everything's going to be okay. If I could just get rid of this, then I'll be perfect. You're coming up with every scenario that's rejecting your pain, which is making them reject you. That's as simple as it can be. I don't know if you can get any more simple than that, but that's what it does.
I'm proud of you for being simple.
Well,
Well, it was simply
it's not simple to do,
not simple.
but the way I'm explaining it, I hope, is simple enough to understand. Because it took us, we figured that out. Let's see, we were 9 years in when we figured that out. Then we had to spend another 5-6 years before we realized that's what was causing the most pain, was not letting you love me when I'm in pain and you not letting me love
Right.
you when you're in pain. Because you don't normally have that. That's your alone space. That's the space where you call yourself lonely or you tell yourself you're not good enough. Or all those things you're saying and attacking yourself with is actually aggravating your pain, but not loving your pain. So what would happen to you if you loved your pain? What would happen in your life? Everything changes the moment you do it. It's just a matter of sitting in it and seeing why you should love that part of yourself, which is a great part of yourself.
Which is a great.
That's what the divine intended. The divine intended for you to love both parts of yourself, not just half of yourself and then wait for another half to come along to love. That don't make sense. You're whole.
Yeah.
It just doesn't, the math don't make sense. But I can see why people choose that direction because it's the easiest to choose.
Yeah.
It's easier to stay hurt.
Yeah.
It's not easier to stay loved.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Hello, TikTok. We're also on TikTok.
Oh, TikTok. What's up? What's
All right.
happening?
So,
What's going on, partners?
TikTok's over here
Okay.
and YouTube's right there.
Oh.
YouTube, TikTok.
TikTok.
YouTube, TikTok. It's like watching a tennis match.
Okay. Let's see. So, Catherine, your thoughts will often want to doubt the very things your feelings are trying to show you. Your thoughts are tricksters, but not without training. You were taught history, which is to recycle your past and look at all the bad points, but not look at your past and see that's what got you here. You want to look at your past, and then when you find this connection, you want to go, oh, you don't accept your past, so they can't either.
Right.
And that causes all kinds of issues because that's the way your mind's been trained.
TikTok, listen, look, we've got 3,000. We got 3,000. Is that what that says?
3.3 thousand.
3.3 thousand likes on our TikTok over here live. We've got 4 here
Oh,
on YouTube.
so it does that.
YouTube.
Oh. Huh.
Get it together.
Okay. All right. Okay.
YouTube.
So, yeah.
We've been here longer.
Let's see.
we have.
Makes a lot of sense. Ginger said, "Detective, hey, what's going on, detective?"
Hi, Helen.
Not a fan of victim blaming and
Over on
denial of
TikTok?
DM's free will. See, the issue with DM is it makes no sense. DM separation of DF makes no sense. It's never going to make sense. It's never going to be connection. When you separate yourself, here, watch. If I was divine masculine, you would get half of me. Yeah.
Yay.
Yay. You're excited about that.
Yay.
And then the other half, when you try to come towards me, I'm going to wound you.
Yeah.
Do you know why I'm going to wound you? Because I only made half of myself divine.
Mm.
See, the divine isn't about half. The divine is about whole. So when we're saying divine masculine, we're separating. We're telling that person that they're only one part of a person. So then we're wondering why they're running away. Why doesn't the DM choose me? Because you're only half of yourself. You're masculine and feminine. You're made up of both.
Mhm.
Stop denying it. Stop creating the illusion. The pain will save you from that illusion.
Yeah.
And you choose divine masculine, thinking that I'm going to be a divine feminine. And what you're going to do is keep attracting wounded masculine because you haven't done anything to your masculine side. And they will wound you. They'll wound you because you're divine feminine. Your masculine don't exist. So let me show you what exists in that space is what you're going to keep getting. It's a repeated cycle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. I'm wounded in my masculine and my feminine.
Yes. And that's what's divine about you.
That's the truth.
But that's what's
Right.
divine about you is you can admit that.
Right.
But when you admit that, the divine comes in and says, I'm not going to hide this from him. I'm not going to hide that part from this connection. Then I can fall in love with you. I can't fall in love with you if you're divine. You've put yourself, it's like higher self, right?
Yeah.
Now, we both know, is it possible to have a pure, solid connection in just a higher frequency?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Where have we seen that?
I mean,
Where have we seen that?
well, we do that, don't we?
Well, high and low seems to work with us.
Right.
The more high and low we are. And see, the issue is when you go to higher self, you're seeking to get rid of judgment, but that's the worst judgment,
Right.
right? Because then you're this, I'm higher, right? And everybody else is down here. I don't deal with low frequency. I don't deal with low vibration. So what you've done is you've made discriminate space
Right.
and what you're calling higher self.
Right.
And what would the higher self know about that? So you got to
Nothing,
take
right.
both and just throw out what you know and say, I want to have a connection where I can have high and low.
Right.
Because if you keep going to high, you don't see that you're making the other person feel unworthy, unwanted, unloved, right.
Right.
And it's not low that's doing that. It's your highness.
Mhm.
Get it? Your highness. So,
Yeah, I get it.
yeah, and I'm not referring to weed. I'm referring to your
Yeah.
highness. You know, like
Yeah.
the
No, I
king
get
and the
it.
queen. It's like it doesn't make sense.
It does not.
And if somebody could actually sit me down and tell me how a higher self or a divine masculine or a divine feminine, I'm going to go all the way back to the day I was born and say there were two energies involved with my birth. If I'm only focusing on one side of that energy, I'm not going to get the other side of the energy.
Right.
So it's like you're going to have to make that make sense to me somehow, I think.
I want to read this. I want to read this. Hang on. Because I
Someone
want
who loved me.
to comment on that.
Oh, let's see. Very true. When we used to
Detective.
write.
No, someone who loved me wouldn't do me dirty and run.
Well-
wait, hold on.
Mhm, that's true.
No, is it?
Well, here, presently
Hold
I'm
on.
ignoring the spiritual judgment and the imposed connection as much as possible. Only them reaching out to reveal their deceits and make amends matters. Nice.
When you hurt me, when I hurt you,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
And we've done it multiple times.
Yeah.
Multitudes of times.
Right.
Right.
Mhm.
Did you love me when you were hurting me?
No.
You didn't?
Well, no, you weren't accepting it.
Well,
If I
I
hurt
feel
you-
like I was loving you, and I feel like I couldn't help myself but love you,
Mm.
even though I knew I was hurting you. Like,
Right.
right? I knew that my actions were going to hurt you.
Yeah.
At one point in time,
Okay.
but at that point in time, I was willing to take the risk of just having. Sometimes just having a few more weeks of just bliss with you.
Right. So here's how I can help you understand why I'm saying no. Do you love people you don't tell the truth to?
No.
Okay.
Right.
That's why I have to say no.
Yeah.
So if you weren't telling me the truth, how are you giving me love?
Right.
So what ends up happening is once we're hurting,
Yeah.
the truth spells out somehow. Now, the
Right.
truth isn't
Is
an
it usually
attack.
in anger?
It's no, the truth isn't an attack
Because a
statement.
lot of people will say when you're angry, that like when you're real angry and you say things, that's where the truth comes out.
No,
And I
The
don't believe
truth-
that either.
the truth comes out when you're really sitting in that hurt and not hiding it anymore. That's when the truth comes out. The truth
Okay.
comes out when you're sitting fully in your pain and you just say what's actually hurting. You're not saying it to blame. You're not saying, you know what I'm saying? You say, my heart feels like there's a knife in it and it's hurting me. And it's not you that's doing that. It's in me that's happening. And I
Mhm.
need you to connect to that in me. Right? It's
Right.
not like we were taught to do that. We
Right.
had to learn
Learn to
that
do that. Yeah.
because we couldn't understand how we were hurting each other unless we talked about what was actually hurting in that moment.
Right.
So it's that level of truth. Then there's a deeper level of truth inside of that says, well, when I was a child, right? You know, you go through where that wound actually initially came from. So you would react and respond according to something that was hurting in you, not realizing you didn't heal it yet.
Right.
So, like what we do, we go into that hurt and try to hear all of the things that you needed to say so you can access that feeling to see if you're going to connect to that feeling or keep pushing that feeling and making it their fault.
Right.
Because that feeling is something now that you own. You own that feeling, that hurt, that pain, that's yours. Regardless of where it derived from, the story you're telling yourself about that hurt and that pain is hurting you worse than what that did. That's how things get dragged
Right.
on.
Yeah.
And that's what we were taught when you're taught history. So when we started seeing that was years ago. And I look at it now and I go, it was hard to talk about because we were still trying to really go deeper into healing it
Mhm.
and not trying to pull each other apart, only to realize we needed to rip each other apart because that's what we were doing to ourselves.
Right.
That's the hard part.
It was funner to do to you.
But all of that is, would you say all of those things happening though is a part of union?
Yeah.
So why do they keep calling it separation?
I don't know. I mean, well, it certainly feels like human separation.
Well,
It certainly feels like that.
Well, you start behaving in a
In a
separation kind of way.
separation way.
And then you start letting yourself love them when you're separated. Then they're like, wait, I can't be with you for you to love me. So I
Right.
have to stay away now. That's literally what ends up happening. It's like, do you guys see the logic in what you're doing or no? But is that not how it looks? Or
No, it doesn't.
there's like two sides to every story. There's that, oh, they're running, or did you push them away because you wouldn't tell them the truth?
Right.
I don't know. I guess it's different.
Thanks for the rose
Yeah,
TikTok.
sorry, we ran all that. Oh, you got roses?
You got roses?
Let's see
What's
here.
up, TikTok?
Let me catch up. Hey, Eric.
Taking questions, TikTok, by the way.
Oh my God. Tyler said so hip. Okay, thanks, Tyler.
Oh, thanks, Tyler. Yeah. That's
let's
all
see.
me. That's all me.
Spiritual goddess, ego.
That's all me too.
No,
Ego.
oh.
No.
Catherine, spiritual union is about taking the two twin chakras, etheric bodies and auric fields, and melding them back into the singular field that they were before you came here. That wholeness is a process. I don't know if that happened for us. I think that happened in the background, pushing us to the pain. But once we were actually in the pain, we realized our pains were the same shape,
Mhm.
some of the same energy of reaction. And then there was what we individually were saying to ourselves inside of that space that we didn't say to each other. And once we did that, it's like the shape of the pain connected. So that is like, the way that's explained seems so spiritual, but not worldly. And when
That
you
makes
try
sense.
to when you try to cross
Crossing,
those,
yeah.
you don't see what that actually means until you actually sit in that level of pain. Then those things actually sound more childlike. Like, I want Sherry to know when I hurt. I don't want her to not know when I hurt. I want Sherry to know when I'm in pain. I want her to know what that pain is about, what that hurt is about. The rule there is I don't want Sherry to take it on. I want Sherry to connect to it. Because if Sherry tries to take it away from me, I'll start rejecting her the way I've been rejecting the pain. So that's what ends up happening. But what we do now is we still have these moments, but there's a difference. Like the cycle is there, but the cycle is shaped differently now.
Right.
Would you
Yeah,
say
for sure.
that's how it works?
Yeah.
And it's more about what we're feeling. We have to reach that level of what we're feeling in order to be able to connect.
We have a question in TikTok.
Yeah.
I can't read
Is it possible for a counterpart to never come forth in connection because of guilt? No, they won't come forward because of your pain. If you're not able to share your pain, they're not able to come towards you anyway. Guilt, shame, there's a lot of different types of hurts that we all carry. That's not the pain itself. If you took those hurts and put it in the pain, yes, they're not the same thing. If you took those hurts and put it in the pain, you'd be reborn from what actually happened. But what ends up happening is you pull off that hurt and you won't put it back in your pain so you can heal. Pain and healing are the same energy. Don't get it wrong. You'll never heal without your pain. And you'll never pain without your healing. So you have to it's a two-way street that works as long as you pay attention to the rule of what pain is. If you don't let somebody love you when you're in pain, you're at the furthest point away from what this connection is trying to show you. And you'll keep getting people who will come into your life to kind of stand with you as you go through that pain, or you won't. You'll just say, nope, the only person I'm going to let in is that person. But what that person has to do is keep standing on a different side of your pain until you get that all the doors of your pain aren't open. So they may show up and pop in and pop out, or they show up and then they disappear, because even though you might have moved some pain, they felt that and they came into that side of the pain. But then the other sides of pain that you haven't opened up yet, push them away again. It's like the sun, right? You only get so much sunlight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's Tyler say?
Tomorrow's my twin's birthday.
What would he
So say
say?
happy birthday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, do that. What's he say? They have ads during live streams now. Do you
What?
was there an ad?
Is there an ad?
What?
They
Do
like
tell.
interrupted us for an ad.
Do tell. I want to know.
I really should read stuff before I start stuff. Huh?
Oh.
After the fact, I mean to write spiritual BS is not spiritual judgment.
Right. Right.
It's a good way to put it. Oh, hey, John Lyons.
We're taking questions, TikTok.
Yep, we're taking questions in both places. So
What
if you
is
got
it?
questions here, throw them up and we'll try to get to them. Let's see. Great points. There's a lot of resistance to the way things are in your energy detective. If you take a step back and try to accept the way it is, for better or worse, I guarantee some things will shift. We found that better, worse, right, wrong, a whole bunch of words that actually have opposites. You need judgment in order to choose one of those. We backed away from judgment in that space. At least I've been really trying to master doing it in that space, because I realize it's a trap. If I get trapped in if something feels good or something feels bad, then I know that just as much as I'm feeling good, the bad is going to be, it's already present. I just haven't obtained it yet. So I realize if I stand back and watch, when my mind says something like that, I notice I'm in a neutral zone, and I'm a lot more open to connect to. Like I'll have a tendency to listen better, be more present, be more without alert. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because if something's good, you're alerted. You just don't see it that way, but you are.
Right.
If something's bad, you're alerted. You strengthen those over your life. So who would you be if you took the strength away from that to not react to either one of them?
Look at that. My legs aren't hurting anymore.
Hey, yay. That's awesome.
Yay.
I think I met my twin 6 years ago in college, Roxy said. Welcome, Roxy. I have never felt like this before with anyone when I looked into her eyes. Couldn't move, speak, or hear. Is this something common with TFs?
Oh my
This
goodness.
is common with connection.
Connection, yeah.
Let's call this just connection. How did you open up, Roxy, in that connection? How did you tell them you felt something when you looked in their eyes? And that will
But
help
I-
us.
Yeah, but I do have to say, like when I looked into your eyes, when I saw beyond what your like human eyes were,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
That feeling's there.
Yeah.
And that's the instantaneous moment of connection.
yeah,
Then you start to try to go into your head about what you felt.
right.
And that's where things
And that's
start going.
fun.
That's when things start getting real ugly real quick. When did you two
Oh,
realize?
thanks for the finger heart.
When did you two realize your aha moment and you two were meant to help the collective? We wanted to help
Oh man,
back in 2011.
gosh, we
Then,
were shown even in dreams, and we talked about it a lot.
yeah.
But you were working a 9 to 5.
Oh,
No, you were working a 9 to
I was
9
working
to 9.
65
Yeah,
hours a week
you were working
and
a
getting
lot.
paid for 40.
And
Right.
yeah, so, yeah, I know that it was absolutely making me nuts that you were working so
Yeah.
much and putting holes in your shoes, right? And we
We-
were talking about it one day. The stuff that we've gone through, we are going to be able to help other people get through. And that was the simplicity of what we really thought we wanted to do. And then I talked to spirit, I talked to the universe. I'm like, look, you know what I mean? Help us pave the way for this.
Yeah.
Help us pave the way for this and show us this is what we need to be doing, right? So it wasn't very long after that that he lost his job.
Man.
And it birthed.
I think what
then.
happened then, we knew we wanted to help. And then we reached out to some people that were already out here doing it.
Yeah.
And we were like, okay, so this seems kind of, they're talking about the feeling, but the other stuff doesn't make sense because it just seemed real romanticized. But then when we reached it, then it became really etheric and spiritual and all that. And we were like, wait, we feel like we have this. And they said, no, you two aren't. It was an email.
Yeah, the first person
we
even talked
we don't
about
need to
it.
help. We need to heal.
Yeah,
we help is the furthest thing everybody
Right,
needs. They need to
right.
heal because they don't. The help will lead you away from it.
The first
We've
person
seen
did say,
everybody who was getting
"No,
help
don't
was
do
being
this."
led away from it, not
Yeah.
towards it. So we had to really kind of look at how we helped, but we also wanted to look at how do we heal instead of help.
Help, yeah,
Because help copes.
right.
Heal doesn't. Heal get you
Yeah.
connected.
And spirit made it to where it birthed through a blog. He had been writing, so through the path of him losing his job and then spending time writing in that blog and then answering people's questions in that blog space,
Mhm.
right? And then talking to people, just randomly talking to people, and it birthed through that.
Okay.
And then as we moved along through the years, making these videos and these lives, spirit has just paved the way for us to just continue on this journey doing what we do.
You know, I will tell you, there's been times where it's like, okay, like there's been times here, like in the past year even, where it's like, okay, the energy is slowed, but we didn't understand why it slowed. Then we didn't understand why it was almost like it just came to a screeching halt.
Yeah.
And then we saw that damn thing
Yeah.
out there and we went, oh, well, that makes sense because
Yeah.
somebody's taking it and trying to just only give you a quarter of what the entire connection is about. So if I can package and sell a quarter of what this connection is about, I can get rich. And there were people that did that. And it took away from what this connection is about. And it made it a very small space and then said that this space could be with anybody. That's not true. There is connection that is happening differently. And this connection comes in different ways. but it's always going to be a feeling. It starts as a feeling, a very strong feeling, and your mind was going to show you a mental image of where you had that feeling. Now, what gets twisted in that is those feelings that get activated are feelings you buried a long time ago. You came into this world with those feelings, right?
Right.
We came in, and remember, you would tell them when you were kids, you were telling them, and they were like, yeah, no, you're living in a dream world, right? And so they're telling you that that's all fantasy about a feeling you have.
Right.
Your feelings aren't fantasy. Your feelings are your truth. So
I just knew. I had a knowing. It was weird. I just knew. I knew that there was something big out there. I knew it. And
but nobody respected that or
didn't.
cherished it or really listened.
Yeah.
And really paid attention to how you were feeling.
Right.
And then we come into the same energy field.
Yeah.
We get into that space where we're alone. We're eyes locked, and all of a sudden, I looked at you, and I went, "Oh,
yeah." I had that same feeling.
And the feeling, it was the feeling, feeling of that eye gaze and that look, and then there's like this feeling that hits your body, and that feeling, you're like now going. It's like you feel like you're alive. Like you haven't been alive before,
right.
And now you have somebody who's looking at you, and they're looking at you like you're alive, and you're looking at them like they're alive, and they're like, the rest of this shit looks like fantasy to me now because this is real.
Yeah.
And then you go back to fantasy, and you keep going, hey, something real happened to me, and your fantasy people are going, yeah, that's not real, because your fantasy people are your fantasy people. You don't see that the real is the connection, and the connection is more than just a lover. It's connection, a pure connection. And it's hard to chase a pure connection when you're disconnected.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You ever notice when you look in my eyes, like the later it gets at night, the more lazy this one gets?
You and Cameron have that. You guys should probably get that fixed. That's what you once said to me.
I look up and it's like half closed half the time. We got a question in TikTok.
Okay, let's hear the question in TikTok. Then we'll jump back over here.
I can't read the name because I'm blind as
let's see. My girl. Spirituality. What was it like for Lee while changing from old ways of living to the new? I had to, first of all, I had to really let myself sit in the feelings that made me do the things I was doing. Then I had to look at what it caused to the people it did it to. So I had to go through deep, deep levels of pain. And then there was a me on the inside that wanted to keep that going. And we had to have a fight. And you remember that. We both had those kinds of moments. And I was telling you about the dream I was having where it was like a constant fight and it was bloody and it was like I had to have this night.
Yeah.
And you said to me in the dream, stop fighting. Yeah. So I stopped fighting, and that part of me killed me. But it was interesting because it was like she came over, picked up my body, and then I never had those thoughts again. It was weird. It was like all of a sudden the part of me that was like womanizing, the part of me that just wouldn't sit still, the part of me that wanted to travel, the part of me that just didn't want to stay anywhere. All of that stuff. You come to a battle. You come to like a final battle. And it was like Mortal Kombat. It was intense. But it was releasing. You have to let your mind win. You won't fall in love with your mind if you don't. Your mind is going to tell you a whole bunch of things that it has done over a period of time. When you find this connection, the true battle is, are you going to believe in time? Or are you going to believe in connection? That's the battle. That is the final battle. And for me, as my masculine and feminine were so divided that was the fight. The fight was my masculine was this haunting figure, but my feminine was this wounded seductress. And it was like I had to put all of that together and let it beat me. And it did. It won. And since I gave up the fight, it didn't get any more power from me. It's a spiritual battle, but it's also a very physical one because I remember the aches and the pains I had. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you could feel it, and you don't feel well, do you? I mean, you literally kept asking me about how I was feeling all the time, and I just remember going through it and saying, wow, that's kind of how that was. What I missed.
Just some bunch of spam going on in here.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Do they read the chat? Yes, Susan, we read the chat. Sorry. Yes, Susan. Tyler, let's see. Catherine. Yeah, but it takes a moment if they're answering a question and they're reading from here to TikTok. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we kind of just jumped through. But hopefully that answered your question, my girl. That was a good question, actually.
Okay, I'm just removing the fun ones. You
Do we
know?
have OnlyFans? Do we?
Yeah, no, we do
I
not.
don't think we're on.
I mean,
OnlyFans.
I don't.
I don't think we have one.
I mean,
Let's see. Yeah. There's a bunch of people coming here to troll you. Seem like good people. Just
well,
warning.
thank you.
No, that's actually been fun. We've actually seen
Yeah.
an increase of that ever since we talked about that particular show on Amazon. That happened every single time. Every single time we say something
Oh,
about
that's
what isn't the
disgusting.
truth, we get attacked. So we're here to give the truth. That's it. That's all we can do. Yes, this is definitely, yeah. Why
I'm
don't we,
removing that.
or you just do remove hide user from channel. Yeah,
That's
I think if
fine.
you do that, then it just kind of. And Angie, if
Let's
you're
get
still
rid
in
of
here, you
all
can keep
that.
an eye on it and just go ahead and remove that stuff. Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
Yeah, so that just removes them. You can
That's
report
okay.
them too.
Well, there's another. Well, there's
Yeah,
more.
that's cute.
Oh, fine.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
So it should do it. Not a big deal.
Let's see. The worst part of that's they're probably like 12, 13-year-old kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, yeah. So, let's see here. I'm trying to read.
Got a few to get rid of people trying to read the.
Yeah.
You're welcome, my girl.
There we go. There we go. All right. So
Are they removed?
I understand now. Really, yeah. One half of me is white, but the other, but only the good half.
Oh my God.
That's cute. Yeah. Eat the meat. Oh wow.
That's awesome. That's what I was trying to get rid of while you were talking.
Oh.
That's why I was
These are
reaching
cute.
over
Yeah,
you.
Yeah. It's just,
That's what I was saying. They're probably like 13-year-old kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's it's fine.
Yeah. Well, that's how that works.
That's fine.
That's cute.
Yeah.
So anyway, sorry guys.
Yeah.
None of this is your fault. Too.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Fun times.
Yeah.
Yeah. This happens.
Yeah. There's
Anyway.
a lot going on over here in YouTube, y'all.
Yeah.
Have a
Fun
lot
stuff.
going on in YouTube land over here. Yeah, there's a lot going on in YouTube over
Racist
here.
live streamer Burger Planet sent them. He's gone crazy again and sent a raid. Yeah, that's cute.
I don't even know what that is.
Man, that's just cute.
I don't even know what that is.
Right. Say wiretap, that's cute.
Huh?
Say wiretap, that's cute.
I don't know what
Sorry guys, if you get spammed, that kind of happens. Yeah. So I don't know if we lost everybody's questions.
I
or not.
don't know. We may have.
Yeah, anyway. Oh my God, we're straight up on 4chan. 4 channels. Oh well, that's quite all right. Okay.
Did we get them?
I don't know. Just had another ad on me. Yeah, I think we get it's something weird's happening.
Where's the thing at?
No, it's over there.
I can't see it.
Yeah,
Get
that's
rid of that. Yeah.
no, that's the one that was in here before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I think we should be okay.
Oh, we may have gotten rid of
Yeah.
it. I don't know.
Is Angie still in here? Angela.
I don't know what time it is over there.
Mm,
It's late. That's got to go.
yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
Well, hopefully
We
we
may
cleared
have
it
got
up.
them all.
We'll see.
I don't know.
Tyler, are you still there? Can you let us know? Oh, this is cute.
No.
Let's do. There we go.
Okay, we may have to go out and come back in.
Yeah, true.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
We'll be right back if you'd like to join us. Actually, we should call the grandkids and then come back.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, we're gonna call. Here we go. Tyler Moore over here. Haley and Sherry, if you need me to moderate, yes.
Yeah. Are you still in there? If
Yes,
you're in
that's
there,
why
yell.
he just. That's
Yeah,
why he
where
just
are you?
yelled for you.
Yes. Thank you, Tyler. There we go, buddy.
There. He just yelled for you. See,
Yeah.
that's what spirit does. Love you, Tyler.
There you go, buddy.
Freaking awesome, dude.
Yeah, that works. Thank you. Now I don't have to deal with
You're
that.
awesome.
Yep.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. Many times as it takes.
How many times are you gonna say this is
Yeah.
cute?
Yeah, a little extreme, yes.
You know,
Yeah.
it's fine.
No, but that happens. And we've seen
Does it?
Yeah, well, I mean, it happens because, it's
Oh, for fuck's
You-
sake. We're gonna have to go and come back.
Yeah. All right. Yes. Yeah. There's a lot of fun stuff happening, Andrea. Good to
Yeah,
see you.
Andrea.
Yeah. Why do You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we.
Fun times. All right. Anyway, hopefully you got something because sorry we got hijacked, guys. But
Yeah.
like I said, it's been happening ever since this went down. So we get it. Thank
Okay,
you, Angela.
Angela's back.
Appreciate it.
All right,
Yeah, just
so maybe
hide user from the channel, whatever you got to do. We're good with that. Go team. Yay, we got two of them.
Yay. I love you guys. You guys
Yeah.
are awesome. Now we can start taking questions again. We don't
Yeah,
have
probably.
to go away.
Yep.
We didn't have to go away. Got-
So, yes, thank you, Tyler. Appreciate you.
Am I like
Thank you, Sarah. We appreciate it. That's the problem with people who are uneducated. They don't know what education sounds like.
Right.
Nothing is happening in this past year. There's been nothing but delays and mind games from Spirit. Amber Rose, how do I moderate? I want to help. Thanks, guys. No problem, Rita. Catherine and I absolutely am surrendered and letting it do whatever it
Oh,
wants.
here we go.
Oh, Stanley. Yeah, Stanley's king. Cool. Oh, wow. Yeah, well, Day of the Rope is coming. That's awesome. That's just so cute.
Oh, cute.
Yeah. What happens is when we start gaining momentum, stuff like this,
Yeah, well, yeah.
it doesn't make it worth coming on and doing. That's why we should just do the Zoom stuff. What do you need? Itch.
Yeah, I was lining up to get itched, and
Got it.
yeah, thank you.
I felt it. I was like, oh, no, where's that?
Yeah, Jimmy. We'll get right on letting you in.
Yeah.
We'll get right on that, buddy.
Yeah. But this is about self-love and boundaries, but I'm definitely doing the right thing. How do you have boundaries and have love at the same time? Can you say anything about telepathy?
Yeah.
Telepathy is more sense-based. At least we have found that see, hear, smell, touch, taste is the only form of telepathy we actually have because we can't get into each other's heads.
Right.
That's the guarded space. That's the disconnected space. That's no space for union. So what we ended up choosing was realizing, like, remember, you could taste when I would smoke. You could taste when I was eating a cheeseburger. You could taste, you know what I'm saying? Those kinds of forms of telepathy. You could feel when my back was hurting. You could feel when my legs were cramping. You know what I'm saying? Telepathy is more of a physical experience when you merge pain. But when you aren't merged pain yet, the telepathy you're experiencing is that feeling that you're still not responding to is triggering the thought processes of what the other person's doing.
Yeah.
And you think that's them doing that, and it's not them doing that at all. That's you doing. There's not such thing as mind reading, I don't believe. And if there is, it's probably a very complicated experience because not all thought would make sense without a backstory.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like what you've already been through.
Mhm.
If that's not known, then you don't know why the feeling is bringing these kinds of thoughts to the person that you're connected to. So it'd probably be pretty confusing, I would think. Let's see, laugh out loud. Setting boundaries means not letting people step on you and disrespect you. Boundaries are healthy and lacked them all in my life. This journey helped me develop them. So what I would do, detective, is say all the times that those things happen to you in your past, the healthy part of you would let go of the disrespect as a way to start respecting yourself and send that energy out for them to respect you too. A boundary will stop that. A boundary is kind of like a shield that still keeps looking for disrespect.
Mhm.
So the boundary being there is saying that you're going to be disrespected, so people will come at you with disrespect. You know the law of attraction, when you say something over and over and over again, that's what keeps coming. That's kind of what a boundary sets you up to do. So if you if you looked at boundaries as a way to amplify the disrespect coming to you and took down the boundary and started respecting yourself, that respect would follow you. It would really follow you. So I believe that would be the way to do it. When we have boundaries and we were trying to protect and we were trying to be safe, we found ourselves in separation more times than not.
Right.
But when we took those things down and took them away and really talked about what we were feeling and really truly listened to one another, that merged that space where you felt that. So then you know the other person has an understanding of when that feeling arises in you, what they're going through, and it kind of helps you to be on their side and let them get through it while you hold them. You don't have to change it for them. They have to change it themselves. I think I saw earlier where somebody said self-love isn't the same thing. I think it was it you, John? I believe John said something about loving yourself isn't the same thing as loving yourself in your pain. No, it is not.
Mhm.
Loving yourself in your pain is connection. Loving yourself isn't. There's no other way to say it. That's just how that seems to have worked for us. And we're only students still, so we can only tell you what we've experienced to help you know that's what we keep experiencing.
Mhm.
Is that
Yeah.
accurate? Yeah.
So this is a different person than this. It seems like. I don't know.
No.
Okay.
Let's see. This is extremely unhealthy, enables abuse. We'll have to agree to disagree. Same happened with Ayana in the panel yesterday, getting mistreated, but instead asking her about her parents and told her it was her fault and she had to do something on her end. Detective, the easiest way to say this is this. You have to have a belief that you can change connection, because if you let everybody else dictate connection to you, you're giving them that power. They're not giving it to you. You have a right to take your own power back and say to yourself, I can change connection. The boundary stops you from believing you can change connection and you can change the people that are interacting with you. If you're okay saying I have a boundary and you are okay with realizing that gives them power to do it, you can't reclaim that power with a boundary. You reclaim the power with your energy, with your ability to connect to yourself so others can connect to you too. So I would say, I agree that we probably could disagree in this space. In the space that we're in, we realized the boundaries were hurting us. They weren't opening us.
Mhm.
And then if she felt I was disrespecting her, until I actually sat in the feeling with her that she was feeling when she was saying it, then it became clear to me it wasn't me that disrespected her. She got disrespected a lot. So when you have a buildup of that, anything I could say could trigger her feeling like she's being disrespected. If she disables that and I speak to her, she doesn't feel disrespected. There wasn't a boundary used to do that. It's a matter of words and the way you choose your words and the way that you speak about your feelings. Because if you look at it, detective, if you went back and did the detective work in your life, what were you taught about your feelings? Were you taught that you could have feelings and share them, or were you taught that you keep your feelings to yourself and don't share them? Because that is a wound all in itself. And that's what usually we find when we come to that space. That's what's happened. We weren't able to speak about those feelings.
Right.
So trying to word them to the other person hurt us more than it brought us together.
Yeah.
Um,
Thanks for the roses and the gifts, guys, on
Yeah.
TikTok.
Let's see. Same happened with, okay. I 100% have a tough time lowering boundaries if there's personal connection involved. So, and that I've seen, Andrew, we had that same issue too. That we both had that. And the lowering of the boundaries was kind of, here's how it works. You got hurt, then created a boundary. You didn't get hurt, heal, then create a boundary. You got hurt and created a boundary. So what do you think is the boundary is made out of? Is that very hurt. So what you keep attracting is that hurt, not the healing. So it's like if we're directing somebody to do something, it's not the direction of go and talk to your mom and your dad about connection. It's the you on the inside that went through that has turned into a form of your mom and dad and is now doing those things to you, keeping what they did to you alive. If you heal that, what would you need boundaries for? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I guess it's about the absence of what the absent part of what I guess I'm trying to say is when we had boundaries, the boundaries were created from a hurt. They weren't created from the healing from that hurt. And that kept attracting the same kinds of cycles because we didn't heal what was hurting. Does that make sense? So hopefully it's not that I'm not agreeing with you. I'm saying that there's a piece in there that is the most important piece is that you heal from your hurt, then decide whether you need a boundary or not after you're in healing and you're completely open and vulnerable again. Because your vulnerable takes shape according to what your pain level of acceptance is. So if you sat in the pain of how it hurt you, would that pain be the same?
And if you don't go through that healing, then that boundary turns into an arsenal or an arsenal wall or a vault that nothing can get in.
Right.
Yeah.
Having healthy boundaries doesn't mean pushing away people. I guess it depends on what you consider healthy. Healthy to me is being able to own my pain, love the me inside of that pain, and know that that pain has a purpose for healing, not keeping me hurt. So if the more I can sit in my pain, the more I heal.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way pain works. Pain was never something that just goes on for a long period of time. If you get hurt and you literally let yourself feel all of that hurt instead of what we did, because, think about this. If you ever had a parent that looked at you and said, you better stop crying or I'll give you something to cry about, all that did was teach you to stuff your pain. All that did was teach you to kind of disconnect or kind of act like it's not there anymore. And enough times, it only takes one or two times for you to hear that or have some kind of situation like that, similar to that happen. And the next thing you know, you start learning ways to disconnect from that feeling inside because you now feel that somebody outside is not going to accept your feelings. That grows over a period of time. What's healthy about that? Because that to me is the same thing that happens when you create boundaries, when you create protection, when you create being safe. The most beautiful thing that ever happened to you was being vulnerable. When you were vulnerable, when you were born, somebody held you, they rocked you to sleep, they woke you up, they cooed with you, they looked in your eyes, and they paid attention to you. That is the purest form of vulnerability a human can have. That's the divine spirit you're carrying. So if you're in that divine space of being vulnerable, it's because you're in your pain, not because you're without it. And if you're in your pain, you're healing.
Mm-hmm.
What can we do when completely petrified in front of twin and can even speak and lost our words?
Happened to me.
um,
If you haven't watched our journey,
yeah.
you should, because I couldn't speak. Like literally, physically could not speak. Like falling over my words, like
Detective,
type thing.
that's kind of what I'm saying. Detective, you said, I finally stood up to my mom and my brother too. That sounds confrontational. So you're going to get disrespect just based off of that statement by itself. Telling isn't the same thing as sharing. There are two different modes of energy. You'll share when you're healing. You'll tell when you're hurting. So if you looked at it from just that lens by itself, you could make a difference in that space. We believe, Detective, that you can change connection. We're believing in you, not believing against you. We believe that you can go in and change connection. If that's not something you want to believe, okay, I can respect that. Your mom can yell, but your mom's yelling because of what's hurting her. And if you just looked at it and let her keep her yelling and just let her yell and let her get it out and had no reaction, would she stop? Would she start apologizing? Sometimes we get angry, sometimes we get upset. It's up to you to decide what that space is going to look like. If you believe the other person's dictating what that space looks like, then that's what's going to hurt more than anything.
And I don't know what you know about us and our story, or me and my story, actually, Detective, that I was sexually abused from the age of 10. So I'm a control freak, right? I don't want anybody to ever control me again. I don't want anybody to ever hurt me again, right? That goes on in me. And I am guilty of putting up boundaries. And I still have some, right? And I'm realizing now that those situations that I still have boundaries up, or those particular boundaries are over things that I haven't fully put into healing.
Mhm.
And and that's okay, right? It's okay for me to set on that as long as I need to set on that. And he's aware of those. He's aware of those things. And I mean,
I'm
it's
alert and
yeah,
aware of those
it's
things.
okay to stand up
Yeah.
and for yourself, right? And claim your power. Being sexually abused and physically abused, I lost so much of my power that when I got it back, nobody was ever taking it from me again.
Mhm.
And that built up a mansion of cinder blocks, right? That I couldn't even get through. I couldn't even find my way out of. It took a while.
But you started letting me connect to
For
that
sure.
pain, and
Yeah.
did it start to heal?
Yes.
See, if you teach somebody boundaries,
It
how
was
are you
being
connecting?
vulnerable in
How are
that
you connecting to how they
space.
feel so that you can heal with them?
Right.
So if you got a boundary, how do you do that?
Right.
Is
Yeah,
it possible?
it's not, you can't.
Right.
Right.
So the boundary is the hurt still
Yeah.
consistently going on and
Right.
on and on.
Yeah.
It's taking time.
Yeah.
And the belief in time is keeping that more strong than your belief of connection.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not easy.
It's
I'm not
not.
saying any of this is easy
Yeah.
in any way, because trust us, we've been put through the ringer when it comes to healing pain and hurts that we believe the other person did, but when we look back, it was stuff that we had stuffed down from a long time ago. We were just waiting to hear, keep your pain to yourself, or I don't want to know that. We're looking for those anecdotes of rejection that were there before to show up the same way, because the feeling itself hasn't been connected to. I mean, you don't believe that feeling can be connected to.
Right.
That's the boundary.
Right. And Detective, I'm sort of like getting glimpses of your chat here. And what was it I said? Hang on. I have people in my immediate family, in my life, and I'm going to say 99% of my biological family is not in my life. Um,
I'm more biological than they are at this point.
they're just not in my life. And, um, and now, and now there's a new boundary for me. I'm 2 years ago was in hospice care, and I didn't see any of my siblings at all. As a matter of fact, the only one from my biological family that was there for me, well, um, four, maybe five, four, um, that was even remotely close to being there. And so there are there are things that still go on and still happen in our lives, and I've had to be willing and to put that all into healing in myself, forgive myself for not forgiving myself in the first place,
Mm.
right? And then know that I'm okay. I'm okay without that aspect of my life. That I'm okay in the energy that I'm in, and I don't have to be penetrated by that energy
Right.
anymore. And because every time I got in the energy, it was bad. And it when they say black sheep of the family, well, that's me. And it was hard going into a den of wolves,
Mm.
right? So I completely understand where you're coming from
Yeah.
on that.
Oh, thank you, Eric. We really love you too. Let's see. No, detective, we definitely understand that pain. We
Yeah,
definitely,
sure.
and believe us, we had the same thought patterns at play the entire time, trying to figure out how to be together. And it was only until we realized we couldn't have boundaries, we couldn't have protection, we couldn't be safe. We had to be completely vulnerable with each other. Something happens to your vulnerability when those things come up.
Right.
And the goal is, if you ask yourself, can you have connection without vulnerability? You can hear your answer, not ours. That's the space where you really will heal. And the more we were in that space, the more one of us went into that space, the more the other one came closer to that.
Mhm.
Like I would reach out to you when you got like that. And you weren't giving me that, but I would reach out to you. And then as soon as you could hear me, that shield would go
Yeah.
up. And then I would step back and you'd be like,
Mhm.
oh, you're going to come forward, then you're going to run away. And I'm looking at you going, I don't know what to do. Your vulnerability was there 1 second. And as soon as I come into your energy field, it's like your vulnerability disappears. So you're rejecting me. So you don't see it that way, but that's exactly what it is. It's a boundary is a rejective energy. It rejects more than it accepts. So it rejects based on certain criteria. Like, let's just take even respect or disrespect, or you take love or not love, or you take like and not like. You could take a whole bunch of different variables and say, these are the things that hurt me. And if you step into one of these energy fields, you're going to be met with the boundary for this, which is the same boundary being now used for something else and not realize it. And that person starts to get aggravated because they want to connect and they think you're open to connect, but then they feel like you're lying to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was really like that. It was a very confusing space for a long time. And then we went, what would happen? How do humans heal without vulnerability? How do we heal without connection? How do we heal without pain? Those are the questions. And those led us to this space. And we literally feel everything with each other. We don't feel it apart. And I believe that's what we always wanted.
Yeah.
Because that to us is the ultimate love. That is true love. True love means the truth has got to be involved. And this may not be anybody else's truth, but we're telling you this connection, that's the deeper part of our connection. We are severely connected in our pain to each other. And it's brought all kinds of magic to us. And it's brought all kinds of awakenings to us, and it's brought all kinds of more pain to us because you don't realize how deep your pain is, but all your love that's in that deep is in there too. So loving yourself through your pain is self-love. Loving yourself in your pain and not blocking that from anybody is healing and love. Self-love can't be described. It can be described any other way, but it's not without your pain.
Somebody else saying there's ads on the live.
Yeah. I don't know. We didn't do that. Somebody did that then.
I don't know.
You know,
How do we get those off? We're gonna
I
have
know.
to look into how to get those off. I don't want that.
for me, I set a boundary that pushed me away from my mother for the way she was treating me. The truth is, what I needed was my mom. The truth is, I wanted her love. Beautiful Tyler.
Yeah.
So by pushing her away, I was actually set myself on what I truly wanted and need. That's beautiful. And does that, if you did that, Tyler, did she open up? Do you feel like you guys got closer? Yeah, Amber, we're not sure why they're at. To me, standing up for yourself is part of the process of overcoming the pain. Does overcoming the pain heal you?
Can you overcome the pain? I mean, yeah, you can.
Overcoming the pain heals you?
I don't think it heals you. No, I don't
Yeah,
think it does.
my
I
question.
don't know that, but
Who said that? Andrea. Andrea, can overcoming the pain heal anything? Oh, I don't have the ads because I have YouTube Premium. Oh, Andrea doesn't have the ads because she's got YouTube Premium.
I'm
I didn't know
gonna
that was
have
a
to
thing.
look into that.
Amber Rose, when people connect to my pain, I don't always feel it. Like that feeling of being seen and felt like, does that mean I am not receiving? That could be possible. It could also mean that as an empath, you might have absorbed a lot of other people's pain and kind of lost connection to your own. So they might be able to feel the pain from you, but is it buried underneath everybody else's pain you carried? I hope that question makes sense. Hugs. Is it possible that many of us have boundaries because we are that transparent, pure until others react, and then we are then pushed to be like them or to protect ourselves by separating? When you get in the unprotected state, you're vulnerable. Then you can be connected to. That's the only thing that seems to keep bringing us and keeping us strong and connected is that space. The space where we start trying to protect ourselves from each other, we're staying in a fight.
Yeah.
We stay in that fight, and that fight will never end because the protection doesn't allow. The protection doesn't give you permission to listen. The protection doesn't give you permission to connect.
Right.
The connection doesn't give you permission to let the other person connect. So then you're at a standstill. And that will at some point start pushing you further and further apart because you have to keep building up against the feelings you do have for that person. You start rejecting.
Mm-hmm.
And that becomes a part of your boundary, is that you reject what they're feeling and they reject what they're feeling. Even what I'm feeling, I'll reject, and what she's going to feel is me rejecting me, which rejects her. So it's like a deadlock situation. Oh, I'm not getting ads due to upgraded YouTube. Angela said, I radically accepted my mom is in my early 30s. Our relationship miraculously changed. We openly love each other and tell each other that there are just some things not understood between us. And that's beautiful, Vix. That's Pixie. Yeah, we had that too. We had to get rid of the understanding and just had to get to the connect to how we feel. Because once we are actually open in that space and she knows that I'm actually connecting to how she feels, your energy calms.
Yeah.
If we're trying to understand each other, it's just a knockdown, drag out fight. And it just goes on and on and on and on and on and on. And it's that cycle. If you start seeing that the understanding is the issue, because we're not taught how to understand each other. We use the word understand so much. We fail to understand that you can't connect to your feelings because you're in understanding, which is mind. Feelings aren't mind. So you want them to connect how you feel. So understanding is like taking them away from what you feel and making them feel some kind of way about it.
Yeah.
Damn, you guys are on fire tonight. So let's see here. Letting down those walls that's what started mending our connection. It doesn't mean she will still doesn't do things that piss me off or make me feel not loved by her. But I'm in a place that I feel comfortable and to tell her how I'm feeling. That's awesome, Tyler. That is so big. That means you can change connection. So the more you do things like that, the more you realize you're changing connection. The more you realize you can change connection, the more connection will start showing you what you can change. Right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Hi, Logan, over here on TikTok.
Hi, Logan.
Is that our pink-haired Logan?
I don't know.
She should have stayed blue.
I don't know.
It is what it is.
Could be.
Might be.
Hi. Andrea, standing up for yourself, though, is still fighting and not lowering boundaries, but I feel is a phase moving that energy from victim to movement, but it's not what would bring you love. Okay, so I guess, Andrea, what you're saying is boundaries don't open you to healing, or boundaries don't open you to connection, or boundaries do that. The power of a boundary gets more power than your ability to be connected to.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that. I don't know.
It is Logan.
Yeah.
It is our Logan.
Hey, Logan. What's up, girlfriend?
We got YouTube over there, and we
Yeah.
got TikTok here.
Be vulnerable. Stay open to connection. Yes, hugs. Total GPS of the heart just came through. That is
Super
awesome. Well, we've had you
cool.
guys.
We
for
gotta
a
call
minute.
our grandkids before they go
Yeah.
to bed, or we're in big trouble.
They're coming tomorrow.
They're coming tomorrow.
That's awesome, though. We love you guys. And if you guys want 30 minutes,
30
let's do 30
minutes.
minutes. We got 30-minute gift that's available on here. Just come talk to us for if you're stuck and you're struggling and you just want a new path, a new way to look at things, a new way to heal yourself. We have seen very few conventional ways to heal for this kind of thing if it's happened to you. The only way to heal this kind of thing that's happening to you with this kind of a connection is your pain.
Mhm.
And if you don't know how to access your pain, that's why we're here. That's why we're doing this. That's why we put this out. That's why you guys see us on YouTube. That's why we decided to just go ahead and make this what we want to do until we're not needed. So I don't know that's actually something you guys need, but if you guys need it, we're here. Y'all streaming on several platforms. Grandkids
We
are
are.
blessing. Yes, they are.
We're streaming on TikTok and on YouTube.
Tyler, trust me, I got more boundaries than the Wall of China. It's hard, but worth it. Yes, don't worry,
With Tyler.
Tyler. Those boundaries, we got you.
With Tyler.
When my twin tries to leave, I feel physical pain and anxiety. Does that ever stop? The physical side of it all. And when will he stop running? It's been 3 years we've been together. When he tries to leave, the physical pain and anxiety, how are you letting your twin in when you have pain and anxiety? How are you letting them be there and tell them what you need? Do a 30-minute with us, Ginger. That might be a way we can help you.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially if you guys are together. We don't want you to get ripped apart. We want you to have this connection. We don't want you to not have this connection. That's why we do this. Because can you imagine an entire world connected? No, that would mean peace. So it's hard to imagine, especially in the world that we're in. It's just too many minds interacting with minds and not enough feeling interacting with feeling. So thank you guys for having us.
Yay. Thank
And
you
TikTok
for being
has been
here.
real.
Yes.
Yeah, we love you too, Logan.
Love you.
Yes, if you guys need us, we're here. Videos will keep coming, and the Halloween one is we're being edited, so you never know. We'll pop it out.
Yes.
Yes.
I think she said, I learned that the key is not how to stop the pain, but to let it heal me.
Yes, that is the key.
Yay.
That was powerful, Logan. Powerful.
Yay.
Yes. See you guys.
Bye, guys.
Take care.
Oh, I guess
Oh.
I should